What is going on, everybody, in the Epiko Regal world? And we have OldBurntTurnSlick here today, and we're going to be going over a little bit of stuff going on in the Twitter spaces and give you an update on our thoughts on what we want to see improved in the game and how it can evolve throughout time. And we're going to be spewing out a whole lot of stuff that the dev team's heads will probably explode, but we're going to give it to you anyway, and we're going to let them decide if they want to implement that kind of stuff in the game. So, with that being said, OldBurntTurnSlick, how has your grinding been going lately?
Glow, glow, glow. It's been going good, man. I've been playing a lot over the past 3, 4 days and ran into some good players, man. A couple guys are starting to beat me. I'm gonna have to give some shout outs later on this video, or unless you want me to now.
Yeah,
I got a lot
let's
of good competition.
yeah, let's go ahead and jump into that because we've had people. There was a Twitter space the other day. You actually messaged me and told me about, which I appreciate, where these guys were in there talking about the game and kind of a walkthrough, and they're just beginning and they're got a kingdom going and they're starting to move up the ranks. But yeah, things are happening in the space and I'm loving it. So let's go ahead and give these people a shout out that has been giving you a run for your money.
All right, let's shout out these tryhards here. Uh, Total Wiz. This guy's beat me a few times, so he's definitely a good player, and he's still ranked. I look at his cards; all his cards are still like one, two under mine. So he's a guy to look out for. Total Wiz. Then we got Peter. Peter beat me once, only once though. So you gotta keep working on it, Peter.
Yeah, I've actually gone against him, I think, twice today, and it was very close. Nail biters. It was down to HPs. I don't even think we took towers out.
Yeah, Peter knows what he's doing. Of course, we got the Innovator, who right when the Coconut Army came out, this guy. It's like he might have been getting a little practice before it came out or something, because he knew exactly what to do with that thing.
Well, when you
But
create the
his run,
team, you can create the defense for it, right?
that's right.
I'm just kidding.
I
He's
think
been
his
doing
run's
real
over.
good. Yeah, yeah.
He is a good player, but I think he's now we've caught up to his new strat. I think he's got to regroup. I got Kid Roll on here. Me and you, we split. We're about 50-50, I'd say. Not
Yeah,
keeping account.
yeah, I've been working on a new deck lately, and we'll get into that a little bit later on. I'm trying to kind of evolve with the game and how things are going, how people are playing. And it's definitely going to be interesting whenever they start getting these new cards in the game. We've seen the NFTs that they've got, and we have a lot coming. So hopefully they release those slowly and don't just throw them all at us at once. And my head's going to explode. And I'm going to lose a lot of sleep at night because we're going to be trying to figure that stuff out. But who do you got next on that list?
Next, I got old Salsa Quiche. He's beat me I don't know, 2, 3 times. I don't know. He's a great player. He's beat me though.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Of course, I went ahead and threw Not Zach on here. Haven't been playing him lately, but he used to just dominate me in friendlies, so he had to make the list. Can't wait to see where he's at now though, because I've been upping my game a lot. And then last but not least, Ice King, who's in the VV Ecomi Espanol crew. He's actually beat me once, so I'm looking for my revenge match against Ice King, wherever you're at, Ice King. And then
Well,
one last shout out to Dez NYC NFT Club. That's who hosted that Twitter Spaces the other day, and he
okay.
had like 50 people in there, and we were all talking about Epiko.
Yeah, that's definitely awesome. I've played against pretty much all those people as well. I'm sure I've lost to them all. The competition is finally starting to get very difficult to get those wins. And what I've noticed is, and this is how we're going to have to work on a new tier list. I'm trying to hold off till they get some more cards in the game because I don't want to make one and then just change it all over again and have, people watching these and when there's just better cards that could be played. So I'm still fairly confident in our last tier list video. It is still pretty good. Three Monkey Tree is kind of dropped down a little bit until they get the glitch fixed where it takes a little bit of time, but the Coconut Army is definitely up there. I don't know if it's quite S tier list, but it is almost at the tippy top in my opinion. And I love seeing where these guys are coming. I think later on in the day, I played like 7 games, and probably 4 or 5 of those was real people. So there's a lot of people getting in the game. There's a lot of people finally hitting that level 10 spot in the Kingdom Tower, and it's going to be interesting to see where that goes on for sure. Now, let's go ahead and jump in the Twitter and kind of go over what's been going on in the space. what they've been tweeting about. And we have Venkatesh here where he says, "Are you excited to meet us? June 22nd through the 23rd, they will be at Crypto Expo Asia in Singapore. August 28th and 29th, they will be at Samsung KX in London, and September 3rd and 4th at DesignerCon UK." So I'm super excited with that. He tagged Akomi Reese and David Yu. And Venkatesh used the picture that I'm going to be using on the thumbnail of this video. And that kind of brings us into what we're going to be talking about here in a little bit. We're going to go ahead and dive a little bit more into these Twitter space and go over that, but we're going to be going over game improvement and what do you want to see. So as you're watching this video, if things sound good and sound right and you want to see that, or you just like, you're an idiot, don't do that, be sure to let me know in the comments, because the team will be seeing the feedback on this video. And if you want to see something in the game, now's your time to shine and let them know what you want to see. So be sure to do that. And let's go ahead and scroll down a little bit more here. We've got Venkatesh where he's giving a little bit of a glimpse into what the, holy crap, that's loud, the Epiko market is going to be looking like. He's got a little short video here, and he's got a Batman picture in there, which that's interesting, but it's with two N's at the end. So I don't know, you know what I'm saying, if that's legal or not, but we'll find out eventually. It's neat to see that in there. We know you're going to be able to make your own NFTs and put on there. And I can already tell you right now, I've got my screenshot where I beat the innovator, the AKA Venkatesh himself, and I will be making an NFT of it just so I can make it my profile picture. And I might even send one to his wallet just to rub it in his face, because he did say, and keep this in mind, if you ever beat the innovator, AKA Venkatesh, you will win an NFT. So remember that, hold him accountable for it, and get on Discord, let him know. And OldBurntTurnSlick, have you got your NFT coming from beating old Venkatesh?
Well, I'm still checking the mail every day, but it hasn't showed up quite yet. But you know, he's a busy guy. I'm sure he's gonna get it to us eventually.
Yeah, he hasn't really talked about what it's going to be or what it's going to look like. So I'm sure that's going to be in the upcoming months or whatnot. But he did say that if you beat him, you're going to get one. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure it's going to be a big thumbs down with Epiko Regal in there, because he's going to be a little salty that you beat him and all that good stuff. What do you think he's going to give us for an NFT?
Well, I'm hoping, you know, Ultra Epic, Ultra Epic is what it should give us.
Yeah, that would be pretty sweet, because pretty much he is very skilled in the game. He has come a long way, and you have to be an ultra epic player to beat him. So reward us with an ultra epic. But anyway, OldBurntTurnSlick here has been on Twitch, so be sure to find him on there and follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. He announces in Discord and Twitter when he goes live. So if you want to learn how to beat the champ himself in the #1 spot, the global leader, be sure to watch him, because you'll probably learn something, learn his strategies, and you'll be able to make those counter decks and pushes to take him out. You didn't hear that, by the way. I forgot to tell you, earmuffs.
That's fine. That's fine.
But anyway, so that's just kind of a few things on the Twitter. Also, one thing that has been brought up, be sure to connect to your Play Store or whatever device you're on. And I believe right now they are working on where you can connect with a email address so that you can do it on Android and Apple. But I don't think you can do it right now if you're on one trying to jump onto the other. But that is something to come, so keep that in mind. But if you lose your phone and you don't connect this, then say goodbye to all that hard work and progress, because I know OldBurntTurnSlick would probably cry a really big tear if he lost that 100, what are you up, 160,000 trophies now?
Yeah, 160 something. I would cry.
Whew. That is incredible in itself, sir. So here is a good glimpse where if you get an NFT, let me pause this right quick. So you can kind of walk me through this. You got the Ultra Epic NFT, and they gave you a code to use in the game, and you get this mystery stone. And I'm going to go ahead and let you break it down and explain how you do it, how you get it, and what are the rewards here as I play this video.
All right, yeah, if you win an NFT and you go to the Discord, they will send you a code for a mystery stone, and in it can't even see, but it has quite. I think it was 5,000 gems in these puppies.
5,500 gems and 10,000 gold.
Yeah, and then you get it to unlock a character also of whatever rarity NFT you get. So these are both ultra epic. So I got the ultra epic characters, the toys,
Now,
and you can get the comic too.
did you get the ultra epic of the NFT you got, or was it random?
Yeah, you get the mystery stone is the same rarity of the NFT you get.
Okay, okay, perfect. So if there's a certain AR collectible that you want to get in the game and you don't want to spend the gems, but you're like, I want the NFT and I'm still going to get, I hadn't even checked that, but what does it cost to buy that NFT in the game? Or I mean, not the NFT, but the AR collectible. It might just
In
be
the
cheaper to
yeah,
buy the NFT and then get it in the game and have gems and gold to upgrade your cards and unlock those crackers, which is going to be changing soon to the Yantras.
yes. Yeah, they're 5,000 to buy ultra epic in the store. 5,000 gems, so maybe better to buy the NFT.
And that might be a good incentive for people to buy the NFT. So that's pretty sweet. So that's a little utility that you get with these NFTs, which will be in Epiko.market pretty soon. It's going to be coming out the 28th. They had to push the date back due to a couple complications, but they said for sure they should be good on the 28th. So be sure to hit Epiko.market up and get your NFT. Now, this is a quick look at the Yantras that are going to be coming and replacing the crackers, aka chests for people that are new to the game, that are in other style of games, I should say. And we're basically going from 4 different crackers to 10. And it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, what they reward you with, and the quantities that you get. Do you think that these will be longer times or shorter times so that you don't have to spend as many gems to unlock more cards? Or what do you think this is going to be like?
Yeah, maybe it'll just be more options now. Maybe the common one you can open in 5 minutes. Who knows? Maybe you know maybe the other one will be like the number 10. Maybe it'll be 2 or 3 days. And, all the others will be in between.
So, since this video will be about game improvements and what you want to see, so here's what I want to see with these. And I think you hit the nail on the head. So, your commons here, if let's say this game has all the adoption in the world and you're playing players and all those matches are going to go 3 minutes. What if these commons are 3-minute unlocks, or it could be 12 minutes or something like that, to where you can constantly be popping commons the whole time, depending on what the time frame is going to be on these. It'll be very interesting, and hopefully it's something of that nature where the gem cost isn't as much, but you can keep opening it up. But I'm sure it's going to be not as many cards, and I hope they do at least in the epics and up, where it has a super small chance to get an ultra epic card, and you don't have to just get the super rare one to get those, because I feel like a lot of people are lacking, because right now you got to buy a metal bomb to get an ultra epic. So hopefully they do something like that in the system. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea because right now, like you say, it's just in the metal bomb or when they're in the shop, they're 50,000 gold. Even having just that small percentage chance of maybe getting one, out of a rare or an epic
Yeah,
or
because
the one, two, three, or four.
yeah, because
Yeah,
I'm lacking really
sorry.
bad in the green smoke, the Nostra Aga, I believe what it's called.
Yeah.
And unless you get the 3 dynamite pack, I don't think you can get those any other way. And I hardly ever get those. So getting that card leveled up's been a real pain for me. And 3 monkey tree. Is there a card that you just can't seem to get?
I think I got all my purples, all the epics about ready. I think I got them all where I could. I got enough cards. If I just invest the gold, I think I can get them all to level 10. I'm
Okay.
holding off though. I'm waiting because uh, I got some good gems right now, but I'm holding because, like you say, all these new cards are going to be coming out. I see a lot of people are FOMOing into the Coconut Army, like using all their gems to open crackers. I'm gonna wait until more cards are out, so I'm constantly picking up new stuff instead of going all in right now.
Yeah, it's going to be nice to see what these new cards are. Like I said, I hope they don't just dump them on us. So while we're talking about game improvements, please don't drop them all at once. Just give us like one a week or two every other week or something like that. How do you think they need to drop these cards?
Yeah, I think best for them and for players would be one at a time. To so the meta can change slowly, and for them too, because we're gonna want those. We're gonna be like, I gotta open these crackers to level this up. So one at a
Yeah,
time would be the way to go.
yeah, and it's going to be hard, especially if one of those cards becomes the meta and they dump them all at once. And I'll be dang if I don't still get 9 million Nickels, which don't get me wrong, I still love my Nickel, but there's other cards I want to be getting too. So hopefully with the new
Exactly.
Yantras, they balance it out to where at least for a while they like if they whenever they release cards, they give you a little bit higher chance for say the first week or two. Now that's also a game improvement that I would like to see done is when they release a new card for 1 to 2 weeks, they increase the odds of you getting that card. And that way, it'll help people that play the game within that time frame level that card up, and it gives you an incentive. And then also, people that have been away from the game, like Orion, he might see that and be like, "Ooh, if I jump in there for at least a week, I got to try these new cards and get as many as possible." And it's a good way to bring people back into the game. So hopefully they bring something in there like that. Now, if you do own these NFTs, be sure to get on the Discord and get your NFT ownership verification so that you can get those cards. And there is a Medium article on how to do it, and it gives you benefits, contest entries, special access to channels, Discord roles, chat with elite members, attend exclusive AMAs, which is pretty awesome, compete in exclusive competitions, and win big prizes. And then it gives you a layout, kind of step by step, on how to get with them, let them know you got that NFT, and then it'll unlock all those goodies in the Discord. And Discord is where it's at. So if you're not in there, you are missing out for sure. Basically, we've got up and comers that have been grinding in the game and going over their own strategies. We had that conversation with them the other day, and I was going to shout those guys out. Do you have that pulled up by chance?
You might be talking about the VV Alley gang.
Yeah,
Is that
VV
who
Alley
the?
Gang. Those guys did the Twitter space, and I jumped in there, talked to them for a good while. They had some questions about the game and stuff they wanted to see and some concerns, and I tried going over it with them the best I could. One thing a guy brought up is he's legally blind and how he can play the game, and I was going to have it to where I got to talking with him that you can mirror your phone, and he's running Apple, and I don't have one. I'm running Android, so I'm not sure. I'll have to look that up. I'm going to do another video because I recorded that whole session, and the way I recorded it, it did not record my voice, so I apologize for that. I'm going to do some clips and go back over that stuff at a later time. But we're going to go ahead and jump into a list of how we want to see this game change and what we want that to look like. So, one of my questions is, will cards ever go past level 10? If not, what is the incentive to keep playing? I'll stop popping chests to get cards. So, how do we incentivize people to keep grinding? Whenever you start grinding, especially early on in the game, if they don't ever take it to like level 15, then they could do where once you hit level 10, you can turn your extra cards in to give them a new skin, whether it's shiny or gold or diamonds on them or whatever, or a new weapon. And you could use those. We know they're going to be doing elements in the game, and how that looks, we don't know yet, but we do know it's coming. So maybe it could be one of those you could buy NFTs that gives you those, or if you've been doing all this grinding, you can reward the players by letting them turn in their extra cards to get those elements, or buy these stones to put into elements that are going to be in the characters. And that's kind of one thing I was thinking about that would make it worthwhile to keep popping chests, because right now where I'm at, I've been popping chests just so I can get all these cards built up. But if they're not ever going to hit level 15, then I'm going to stop and I'm just going to do it for the gold. But my expectation is eventually stuff's going to level up. But if they don't incentivize it, then I'm going to stop. So that's one thing I'm going to want to know. So do you have any solution for this?
That I like your idea that even the cosmetic, even the cosmetic thing would be cool. I could totally love to have like the purple Saha, or it'd just be show off, but not not an advantage really.
Well,
But yeah, also trading cards in for like maybe I can trade in 4 cards for a different card, or something like some system.
yeah, you could definitely do that, where if you trade in 5 or 10 commons to get another common of one card, that would be one perk ability. Or, it kind of reminds me of like Modern Warfare, where once you hit level 10, you can prestige and then you get this cool badge. So that could be something as well, where you get a badge, or your guy just upgrades, gets a different skin. And whether it's, his top is gold, and then the second time you prestige, the bottom's gold. And then whenever you play that guy that's just completely, all his cards are just completely in shining armor and stuff like that, you're like, oh crap, I'm in trouble. This dude's an OG and been playing for sure. Since they are making their own Epiko marketplace and people can make their own NFTs, that's pretty sweet. I look forward to seeing where they're going with that and how that's going to become part of the Epiko culture of making your own and, giveaways and fun. But I think one thing they need to do is, right now they have these premium characters of the game, probably around 100 to 150 bucks, depending on where the market's at. You get those sweet perks and mystery stones, but I think one thing that would help is if they did something kind of like HRO, where they had these cheap cards that are like $1. And it could be, characters of the game, and every one that you buy, you get a code with it, and it gives you a little bit of a bonus or some kind of transaction in the game that you can get these codes for these cheap ones and maybe be able to upgrade your characters or something like that. I hadn't quite thought it through. Feel like if they make it to where we can get some cheap NFTs that give you some kind of utility in the game, it's good for their pocketbook and it's good for the player, because especially in this bear market we're in right now, it's kind of difficult to drop that 150 bucks, even though you want to. It's got some neat benefits, but let's see if we can give the cheaper version of these cards and find ways we can integrate it in the game. Do you have any kind of solution for that?
I'm with you on that though, because I would totally invest. It's easier for me to spend $1 than $100, $200. But like you say, utility. Like does come with the mystery stone, but yeah, like why am I holding past that? Is my question.
Maybe it's something along the lines of, they could take the premium ones and you can make it to where you stake that character in the game, and as long as you hold that every month, they send you a monthly reward for holding that character. Think about it as a staking reward, kind of, where if you're holding it, you're staking it, finger quotations here, and that character goes off on a quest. And then whenever it comes back from that quest, it brings you gems or cards. And then if you're holding that character, the cards that it brings you is cards that you actually need in the game that you're lacking of. So even if it was, for me, I need the poison spell, Astronaga, it, after like a month, it brings me at least 1 card or 5 cards or something of that nature, to where it's like a staking aspect that they could bring in the game for holding these NFTs, which makes it valuable. And the more people that hold it, the higher the value goes up. And then if they wanted to, you've got these rarer cards that do that. But then again, if they did these cheaper cards that did the same thing, but like on a smaller scale, that would be pretty sweet. And the more you own of that card, so say they got 10,000 Nickels, say 100,000 Nickels, and for every dollar you spend, you upgrade your card, right? So if you get 10 Nickels, that takes it to level 10. He can go off on a quest and bring you stuff, and you're like, man, he brought me back some cool stuff. I want to buy some more in the cool so I can put him in the staking reward so he can bring me cooler, sweeter stuff. Or it could be those cheap NFTs. Well, I'll have to say that later on, but it's going to be kind of kingdom driven. But I'll get into that here in a little bit. Just so I can kind of give you a visual of what's going on in my head and how they can do this. So, this is Summoner's War. And one thing that you can do in this game that I found pretty freaking cool is you can buy these statues right here in the game. Now, pretend this is Nicole, pretend this is Jim Vontud, pretend this is whoever else. Now, you notice there's a little gem right above their head. And then whenever you click it, it gives you 3 gems. Now, it costs like 500 gems to buy these guys. But if you're a long-term player and you get, I just got, what was it, 8 gems right there. 8 gems a day for these 3 guys. It's 1,500 gems. But if you're a long-term player, you're going to get those rewards over time plus still getting them. So it's kind of like an investment where you can use your gems in the game, buying the cool statues, stuff like that, which we know they're going to have their own metaverse coming. And that would be also an incentive to buy these characters. You can put them down in your AR metaverse, walking around. You can click them. You get gems in the game that you can use to buy chests or upgrade your cards and stuff like that. Now, you also, these guys right here, which have mana, or it's kind of like their currency in the game. This would be like gold. You buy these, you put them down, and then when you click them, you will get 5,000 gold, 6,000 gold, 4,000 gold. Now, this is after like 2 or 3 days of me not playing the game. That's what I got. But that's also another reward where if you buy an NFT, you place these down in your kingdom, and then you can get passive gold in the game to help you upgrade your cards over time. They also have right here this little wish fountain, which I think would be neat. Whenever you click it and you hit a wish, this pops up with this chart. Now, it would be fun if it's same scenario where it had gold, gems, cards that you need, or whatever, a mystery stone in there, and the odds of hitting this mana is extremely high, and this gives you a monster in the game. But that would be sweet if this is a mystery stone. You make a wish, it goes round and round, it's randomized, and then boom, it's like one thing you can do a day, or if I want, I can spend gems and do that multiple times. So that's another addition they could do in the game. I feel like fairly easy and simple. So right there, I just got 15 gems, for the game. And I thought that was kind of neat, something simple, and give a little bit of a utility in the game as well. And then they have these events going on where if you scroll through here, it could be something along the lines of play these cards. So if they have an event where, okay, this card doesn't get played much, and say it's Rock Tower. Well, every time you play Rock Tower, it gives you points to go in here, and you'll be able to upgrade whatever you want depending on how many times you played that card. So let's think of different events that we can be doing where we could reward people for playing cards that don't get played a lot. And my internet is super slow and not going to work, but you kind of get the idea right there. And that's just kind of a couple things that was in this game that I found pretty interesting, that I feel like they could bring in the game. And then there's even this right here where you can purchase these gemstones in the game, which is not part of Epiko Regal, but it could be different cards in here that you could spend your gold on. So if you're like me and I need 2 more coconut armies to max that bad boy out, and it just so happens to land in Coconut Army Guy Day, I can spend X amount of gold or gems to buy those cards. So that's just a couple of things that I have thought of, that I've seen in this game, that I really like, that I think they could bring in this game and really give some good utility and structure to it. And what do you think about all that? I know that's a lot to chew on, but I'll go ahead and let you give your thoughts there, OBTS.
Yeah, well, with everything you just showed, I thought all those ideas were good, to give people more reasons to log in daily. You get more. it's great to have a chance at something, you know? Like, I may sit there and burn through tons of gold if there's just the smallest chance I win, a big prize. So it's always smart to have those options in the game, I believe.
Yeah,
Um,
it is. It's for sure something to think about. I just know right now I'm doing everything I can to get my Poison Smoke Astronaga leveled up, and I just can't get them cards. But they're working on the new chess system. It will be interesting to see what they come up with and how that's all going to play. And I'll go ahead and let you jump into one of your ideas right quick.
all right, I got a ton of ideas. Well, not a ton, but I can just run. I'll ramble through some. You let me know if you want to
No,
talk
go right
on one.
ahead.
I think we need a rematch feature, like me and you play, right? Game ends. There's a rematch button on my screen and on your screen. If we both hit it, we get another game. Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, that would be awesome because there's a lot of times that if you had that option, you could play that person again and then you could flex, or it could be bad for somebody just on the simple fact that if you lose, you're going to be in trouble. Because I know there's been times in the past when I've done this stuff that I'm like, yeah, I killed that guy, destroyed him. I rematched him, and then the dude rolled me because just that quick, he learned how fast I could get taken out, and it would suck. But yeah, absolutely, it definitely needs to be involved in the game for sure. I want to see it.
Next, I got the win streaks. Like we were talking about this, like right when the game starts, it shows the player and it shows how many wins they've had. It'll be like OldBurntTurnSlick, 700 wins in a row. And then I could have a medal for hitting certain milestones there. And then you could also win a medal, say, if you took me out. Say you took out somebody that had a 100 win streak. Then you get like a fancy medal by your name.
That's true. What if there was a dirty Santa kind of thing where you hit so many wins, you beat that person, and like you said, you take that medal, and then it just keeps getting passed around, and then at the end of the month, who held the medal the longest?
Oh, yeah.
You
That's a good
know,
idea.
but then you'd have to
That's a
have
great
more
idea.
than one because if you just take it and never log back in, then you hold it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, maybe if you didn't log in after play a game after a certain amount of time, it
Right.
goes
It
somewhere.
randomly goes to somebody. So that would be
Yeah.
interesting to see something like that. That would be fun. I don't think I've ever seen that in a game. And it's kind of like tag or capture the flag or something of that nature.
Yeah.
So that'd be cool.
Like championship belts. Yeah. Like belts you can hold.
That would be funny to log in and see your guy standing there with the belt on right now.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? That's a good idea as well. I didn't think about is whenever they hold these tournaments, what if they give you a code for a belt for your character to wear on the main screen?
That would be awesome. And then you could have a way that you could have a championship match too. Like, okay, you give me 1,000 Epiko tokens, and you can play me for this championship belt that's worth something.
Yeah, that
Next,
would
I
be
got
sweet.
I got indicators on the leaderboard showing how fast someone's like moving up or down, or moving up or not moving. So say you're shot up like you grind it hard and hit 6,000 games in a day. Like on the leaderboard there would be a huge green arrow, by your name. Like this guy just played 6,000 games.
Yeah, that's a good
Uh,
idea. You could do weekly rank move ups. So just like you said, next to their name, there could be, if you're up 10 ranks, then it would be like in the green plus 10, and then with the arrow pointing up. And then if
yeah.
somebody's been doing horrible, getting their butt kicked, or just stayed stagnant, didn't move, well, if 10 people move past them, then it's going to be red -10. So that's a good idea I'd like to see implemented in the game as well. And kind of what I'm saying is once you go to your trophies here, and as soon as this game freaking loads up, we'll kind of go into it a little bit more. But see, like for me, I'm at rank 11, and just last week, I was at 5 or 6. So I would be in the red
Yeah.
down 5.
Yeah.
So that would kind of show who's been doing the grinding and who's in there and who's really killing it. And that's a really good idea, and I feel like that's something they could implement fairly easy.
Yeah, it'd be a good way to keep an eyes on somebody. Like, oh, this guy, he's gonna catch me in about 5 days. But you'd see it early.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I like that.
All right, next we got. I saw people talking about this in the Discord. Kingdom Wars. I don't even know what that is, but I'm guessing it's like a tournament. Like we could challenge, uh, the another kingdom to a tournament for some kind of prize, or maybe we lose cards, they gain, something.
All right, so Kingdom Wars and how I can see that being implemented in this game is kind of difficult because after hosting that tournament and trying to get people to battle each other was an absolute nightmare. And if you don't set a this is the time you're going to battle each other, it's never going to happen. So this kind of goes to where I was going to cover eventually. I think back to Age of Empires and make a kingdom, have a map, have, if there's 50 slots, then you can have 50 people or whatever. But the thing is, you have a wall in your kingdom. And maybe that's how we could burn those anything past level 10 is you can build a wall and it starts out as wood and then goes to clay and then goes to stone and then goes to metal. But you could have people within the kingdom donate their extra cards. I don't know if you'd want to have them do gems and gold because then it just becomes a big well game. But people that actually put in the time to get all these cards, have them donated and burned for materials, right? So you can build these walls up, and then that's when you could have kingdoms raid you. And then, of course, if you're the big kingdom on the block, then the people are going to pick on you. But we've got to think of a way to reward for being picked on, but at the same time, reward those players for going and raiding. And I'm not sure how that looks, but I'd like to see more of an RPG element into it where you get rewards and say you got 1,000,000 damage on, like if you got wood towers and you got 100,000, right? Well, say one kingdom that's maxed out, everybody's level 10 can only do 10,000 damage. They could do that 10,000 damage to you, bring you down to 90,000 HP. But then again, you could be using your NFTs staked to rebuild your wall, or your cheap NFTs to rebuild your wall. And depending on what level your cheap NFTs are to rebuild that wall, but then you could have catapults on the other side that can, attack. And then you could set up different deck combinations to take. I know this is getting crazy. This is where my mind goes. But like, this is what's going to set this game apart from other tower defense games is if they don't do something of this nature. You know what I mean? Because otherwise, it's just
Yeah.
another tower defense game. Now, I have every bit of conviction for this team to do some crazy stuff like this. The problem is people got to understand this takes time, especially when we start bringing this stuff up, because there is a lot going on in the pipeline here. We already know that they've got comics, AR collectibles, they've got the game, they've got the structure, they got the foundation built. But let's expand. Let's get it going. Let's see what other kind of crazy stuff we can come up with. And I'm definitely all for Kingdom Wars, but let's make it to where it's fun. It rewards both parties, and we already seen like the battering ram card that's coming, so that could be used. Maybe it's somebody makes a whole deck of battering rams to get in there, and each person has to strategize what cards they're sending in first, what goes in second to break through, and then once you break through the wall, you have to take all their defenses out. And once that kingdom's beat, then the rewards go out. So I know I just said a whole lot. What do you think?
That's a great idea, man. It's just basically just more. It makes it more multidimensional. Just games on games, and they're all connected and benefiting each other. Is a great idea.
Yeah,
And it, as far
and that's where you could incentivize people to log in every day and at least get in there, click one button to where it helps rebuild a kingdom wall, or it sets up a troop, or your mines are they're full, but you can click it and restart the cycle to keep getting stone and stuff to rebuild walls. That's just one aspect. to keep in mind whenever we're talking about game improvements is how do we get people on there all the time, even if it's you're on break at work, you can still log in and click a button right quick, jump off, and keep on going. Or something of that nature. Let's think about it. Let's discuss it. Be sure to put in the comments what you think and what do you want to see for a Kingdom Wars, because I'm all about it. I love it. I want to strategize. I want to put traps up and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, to wrap up the kingdom stuff, another thing in Discord I saw was Kingdom Mail, which of course it would be like, the U.S. leader, you could send out an email to like everybody in the kingdom, and then also bringing back a perks for like for the leading kingdoms. Like, why are we in the number one kingdom? We're just so we can. Right now, it's just kind of we're cool, I guess. Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe some perks for us.
right. And if you hold that number one spot, they could, give rewards. But that's where the perks are going to come in for being in the number one kingdom. Is the people that are in there are apparently going to be the active players, and when you have active players, they're going to do kind of everything I just went over right there. And every time you help rebuild a wall or jump on the game and do this, that, or the other, you're going to get rewards. And that's where active players are going to be key to a kingdom, and not just have it to where who can grind the hardest, but who can contribute the most overall. And that is one thing that I've been doing. And this kind of goes back to the mail, sending a kingdom mail out, is I have been removing probably 3 people every other day to 3 days that have not gotten at least 200 trophies, because we're not that kingdom. We're As this game evolves, we're setting ourselves up to get those players that want to be part of this culture and be in the number one kingdom and come up with those meta plays and want to be on top of the leaderboards. And you're not going to do that if you're not playing the game. So it's no hard feelings against you guys. I know things happen in life. I've got the trophy set at 6,000 trophies. You're more than welcome to jump back in anytime there's an open slot. So I'm looking for active people because we want to grow as a community, and that's what we're working on. And you got Akomi Vivi in Espanol, which has been absolutely killing it. They're in second right now. I mean, just running up the ranks. Collectors Club's been in the top ranks for quite some time. They got knocked off their pedestal a little bit, down to third. And the VV Alley gang is up to 8th. I think they were just in 10th place just the Sunday. And so they're moving up.
Yeah.
I see them moving to 3rd and 4th very soon. But anyway, back to the rest of your stuff.
All right. Well, also you've pretty much already covered this, but challenges, daily, weekly, monthly. You already went over that, but if we have that in the game, people are gonna sign in more. I was thought maybe a challenge could be, you take even something like I take a picture with one of the collectibles could be like that could be a challenge.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
yeah, for sure.
I got the option for I don't even know if this is a good idea, but an open mic maybe after the game, like maybe you get 5 seconds before the game and 5 seconds after. But that could get, I don't know. Some games get kind of toxic pretty quick with something like that.
Well, that whole open mic thing ran me off Modern Warfare, and I'm not trying to go back
Yeah,
to that. But there's always an option to have it on and off. So,
yeah, yeah. Like as an older gamer now, I think I could use that, much more maturely than I did when I was, 19 years old.
for sure.
And I think that's about all I've got. You covered the other stuff I had written down basically. Oh, like an unlocked toy. Maybe you can use that as your little avatar on the home page. Right now we just have the king, and the queen, or yeah, maybe we could use our toys for that also.
Yeah, I definitely think it would be fun also if they didn't do a belt to have, if you're in the top 5 guys that win, have it to where they got a big diamond ring on like they have in the NBA if you're a part of your kingdom's part of the championship or whatever. So
Yeah,
that'd be kind of funny.
yeah. And
Um
that's all my overall game ideas, and then of course I got just ideas for cards and stuff, but they got that covered right now. So
yeah, I'm scrolling through here to see what I want to talk about next, because I kind of went over a lot of this stuff already. In the achievements that people could do, this is one thing I think would be fairly easy for them to implement sooner than later. Is right now, me and you've kind of come up. We're setting our ways of what cards we're going to use, and I think it would be fun if they rewarded people for playing cards, say 100 times, 1,000 times, 10,000 times. And this kind of goes back to that prestige mindset, to where once you do that, you get your gems, your gold, crackers, whatever. And then you're like, all right, well, now I'm just playing the game. Or I could start implementing some of these other cards and bringing them in the game where I play cards that I don't normally play. And as things evolve and change, that I might be like, why haven't I been using this card this whole time? And now I'm going to get this challenge done and actually enjoy this card where I thought I hated it before. So let's make it to where you reward them for playing X amount of times, and then have like 5 tiers or something of that nature for rewarding people to play that card. And that way, whenever you're playing people, you're not playing against the same stuff. You're seeing a wide variety of things being played.
Yeah, some of these cards I mean, you don't even see played. Like,
Mm-mm.
I think they're bad, but maybe they're not. Maybe there's some way to utilize it.
Yeah, and we kind of had something like that to, we dealt with, where when we do these tier lists, and people kind of go off that, and I encourage you to play other cards, but just don't play a bunch of random cards. Play your deck that you're used to, but throw one in there. See how it works, and then otherwise, if you just try a bunch of random stuff, you're going to get wrecked and D-rank, and we don't want none of you guys to do that. Another thing is 2v2 will definitely be a fun thing you can do in the game, because then you can strategize how to play. Like me, I would get a bunch of AoE spells, and then I could be like, all right, TurnSlick, run this, but you're going to be more of a pusher. I'm going to help defend you as people drop stuff. So a 2v2 would be sweet. I want to see that in the game. Have you ever done some stuff like that?
I've never played Clash, so I know I've heard it. They do it over there, but I have no idea. So is the 2v2 like, are me and you both dropping troops at the same
Yes.
time
Yep.
on the same sized map?
Yep. So basically, there is our 2 kingdoms in the very back, and then there's 2 more kingdoms, one on each side, and we have to strategize our elixir and drop cards, defend, and then push.
Okay.
So that's where, if
There's
like
these 3
people,
towers or 4 towers?
4 towers.
4 towers. Okay.
Yep. So that's where a poison, like if they do a hard push on one side and you put down a card that's got a lot of HP, and then I put a poison spell down and they've got their whole elixir deck running, then just them defending plus towers hitting and that poison spell will pop all that stuff off, and then we get to do a hard push back. So you got to really strategize how you drop your cards and something like that.
Yeah. I'll open up a whole new strategies to doubles.
Yeah, and
I would
that'll
like to
bring
see that
in
also.
that'll bring in these cards that we don't use normally. So it's something to think about. Another thing is we need a trade-in crackers to upgrade to the next tier. So if I've got 5, common crackers, let's turn it into the next tier, which would be like a rare. 5 of those for 1, and then keep on climbing, because right now a lot of people can't get metal bombs because they're so freaking rare, and they want those ultra epic cards. But it would be nice if you could either burn crackers to get points to put towards buying whatever cracker you want. And it's not like you could do it to where you could just get metal bombs every day, but if you grind hard enough, you could trade in all these crackers to get to a metal bomb eventually within the week or month or something of that nature, to get people to where they need to be. All right. So back to the bombs. I think that'd be one thing to incentivize people. Keep grinding instead of getting common cards all the time. And you can move all that stuff right on up and get the stuff that you need. If you log in for 7 days straight, you get rewards and golds and crackers and gems. It's kind of like that login campaign, just to incentivize people to do that kind of stuff. Another thing that they could do for new players is starting to cool out at a little bit higher level. I feel a lot of new players get discouraged fast, and the cool helps people a lot in the beginning. And they got a couple options that they could do with this. Is I think he starts out at level 2, they could make him level 4. Or if they want to do a micro transaction, they could give a super reward of the day where they give you X amount of Nicole cards. It gets him to level 5 for like $1 or $2. And that would probably bring a little bit of revenue in. And people like me will be like, yep, I'm definitely going to spend $2. But some people like the grind to shine, and that's fine. I get it. But that is also another thing I feel like would be good and brought into the game. Can OG players get codes for giveaways on Twitter and YouTube? So one thing I'd like them to see, or I'd like to see done, is make it to where there's a little bit more giveaways for these mystery boxes that are coming out, and giveaways for these NFTs, which we know Venkatesh has talked about, art contests, meme contests, and things like that. So I'd like to see a little bit more codes given out to give that interaction within the community, to get people to tweet and share and tag and all that stuff to get a little bit more awareness of the game. Or they could be taking like the VV approach and not want to do that just yet until they fine tune some stuff. What do you think?
I think they should go ahead and, give us some codes now. Not only will we become super cool, but it'll help out all the players, new players, because it is tough to, like when I came in, it was about 3 months ago. Like you were up there at the top. Orion was number one. I don't know where you were exactly, but I went through and got destroyed for quite a while. There's going to be that moment where you're just going to get beat down for a minute. So if you could receive some gifts, some mystery stones, going to make those moments easier to handle.
Yeah, for sure. And that's a good point that you just brought up, is you're going to get beat down for a while. And I'm kind of seeing that right now in the community where they can't win. And I did a video on how to win. And I feel like if you follow those instructions to the T, you could eventually get there. And once you get that down, it's kind of like the introductory to the game. Once you get that, that's setting you up to play against real players. Because even at those levels, if you have somebody that knows this style of game, they're going to roll you anyway. So just stick with it, keep playing, level the cards. The best thing you can do is get in a kingdom, and what is it, every 8 hours that you can request cards? Request cards.
Yeah.
Request cards. Those people that are already leveled up or got their main cards, they'll be more than happy to give you Nicole. I feel like that's the best one that you can ask for right off the bat. And if you're all new, then somebody ask for Saha, Nicole, and Gad. And y'all work it out between yourselves. And, once you get that one leveled up, then you can start swapping back and forth. And that's really going to progress you in the game as well. The only other thing that I can think of right now, my list is pretty much done, is the Epiko token and what that's going to look like. And are they going to release this during the bear market? Do you think that's a good idea, or should they just release it now and say, oh, well, let's go? Or do you think they should hold off for a while?
I guess they go ahead and release, why not? You can't stop. You can't stop just because things are down.
Yeah, that's
They'll go up
true.
again
I just
eventually.
would hate for it to go crashing down right off the bat, but we'll see how they're going to do this. We talked about one thing that I think needs to be cleared up is how people are going to win depending on how many trophies they got. We discussed this in the one video. I didn't even think to ask in the AMA the other day, but I want to get a little bit of clarity. So Venkatesh and team, if you're watching this video, break down how people will be rewarded for how many trophies they got, because it said 30,000. Was it 30,000 Epiko tokens or 300,000?
I got the graph right here. So right here the trophy, the Epiko. It looks like the Epiko tokens they're going to start distributing. If you have 25,000 trophies, they have 100,000 Epiko tokens. Now, Are they going to split those amongst the people that have over 25,000 trophies? That's what we were thinking. And then the other one is 50,000 trophies. If you're holding 50,000 trophies, they have 300,000 Epiko tokens they're going to distribute. That's what we thought from their graph.
Right, which you see how many people have already freaking gotten past the 50,000 trophies, right? Remember how
Yep.
we were talking about that?
I know I was going to be the one guy for a minute. I was going to get
Yeah.
300,000 Epiko tokens. Not anymore.
Yeah, I knew this day was going to happen sooner than later, and right now you'd be dividing, it'd be four of you guys, and Peter's knocking on the door of 50,000 as well. So that pipe dream of all of them going to you is gone. But hey, I'll take what I can get. There is no shame in my game, that is for sure.
Hit those milestones if you can. Right now, it looks like for those tokens, it's at 25,000 trophies, and then again at 50,000. So you're
So,
close to one of those. You might want to just grind your way right up to those levels.
right. Yep. At least get to that for sure. Now, keep that in mind, guys, that they will be rewarding players. Now, are they doing the top 5 again, or is that not happening?
I think it's going to be top 5 every month will win NFTs. But
Yeah, I
but
think it's
also here on the same graph, it has a total supply of Epiko NFTs, and it has a breakdown, and that starts at 2,000 trophies. So maybe they're going to be giving away the different NFTs with that also.
well, they're gonna have to do some serious giving because there's
Yeah.
a lot of people in a 2,000 range. Let's see. So basically, 2,000 trophy starts at rank 103. So that's 103 NFTs to be given away.
Huh. And then yeah, those are broken down. The NFTs are at 2,000 trophies, 5,000 trophies, 10,000 trophies, 20,000 trophies, and then also the 25, 50,000.
Mm.
They got NFTs distributing amongst all those also.
Well,
If
actually,
we're
no.
reading this graph right. I don't know.
Actually, no, I lied to you. 'Cause that was kingdoms at trophies.
Ah,
So the top 100 people, they are at 11,000 trophies at the very bottom.
okay.
So I was looking at that
So
wrong.
even at 11,000, it sounds like everybody there is getting NFTs already. Even
Mm-hmm.
below that.
Yeah, I feel like they should
It,
do at least the top 100 because you're going to be battling trying to give away 1,000 NFTs to people that's not ever going to get on Discord. So
yeah.
it'll be interesting for sure. All right. Well,
I
you got
can't
any other?
imagine them splitting these. How are they gonna? I can't imagine them all coming into Discord and doing this. Like we did for our NFTs. Maybe they will, but you might be talking about hundreds and hundreds of people. Are they gonna DM each person? I don't know. Maybe an in-game. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see how they're going to do that in the upcoming giveaway, I guess. I wish them best of luck on
Yeah.
that one's all I can say. So, do you have any other thoughts that you would like to see in this game before we close this out?
I think we pretty much covered everything for now. I really want those friendlies back up. That's where it is important to be in the right kingdom, getting your scrims in. So hopefully the friendlies and the battle invites is going to be fixed this coming up update. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, and that's another good point is the friendly battles are the best way to go to figure out how to counter cards. We did it for a while. We're going to have to get back into that now that my work schedule is finally starting to cool off because I do want to figure out this coconut army a little bit more. I still feel like I need some fine tuning because I'm losing. I've been trying some different things and it's just not quite working out for me. So we're definitely going to have to get back in that friendly battle mode so that we don't lower our ranks down and get that meta going. Hopefully they give us a new card before too long that'll counter the coconut, but I'm not sure how that's going to look or how it's even going to work. That's kind of our ideas on what we want to see in the game, how things can change and evolve. I'm not really sure if any of this is possible, but they always talk about culture and how they're a big part of it, and they want to hear feedback. And it's going to be interesting to see how they implement this. Be sure to use us as your voice. Put in the comments what you want to see, what you liked and didn't like that we had to say, and we will get it to the team and let them know. Also, be sure to join the Discord and get in there, comment. They've got an ideas and feedback section. And Epiko.marketplace will be coming out the 28th, where you can mint your own NFTs or buy Epiko Regal NFTs to get those mystery stones in the game and all that good stuff. So, OldBurntTurnSlick, you have been grinding like a madman. And how long do you think it'll be before somebody takes that #1 spot from you?
Well, that depends if I let them take it,
Uh,
because if I play at least 3 or 4 hours a day, it's gonna take someone quite a while to catch me. You're gonna have somebody like, say I have an account and I have a kid and a wife, that it's gonna need to be running 24 hours a day. Like, I would play, all right, I'm going to bed. Here you go, son. You play for 5 hours. Then maybe you're gonna have to have multiple people grinding in an account, which I think is gonna start happening.
Yeah, for
Awesome
sure.
adoption.
And it's going to be interesting to see how this game evolves. I'm super excited to be here early. They got some stuff to work out, but I'm loving the game. I enjoyed it. I get on there every break I can at work to at least get a few trophies in. I got to get 40,000 sooner than later. I'm going to try to get that tonight, hopefully. I want to hit that threshold, and I look forward to seeing what they're doing in the game. So if you ain't got nothing else, I guess we're going to go ahead and close out.
Yeah, let's take them on out, Rolla. Hey, thanks for having me on, and great battles, everybody. I hope to be seeing y'all more on the battlefield, and they're better than me, really. I just still got a slight advantage, slightly.
Yeah, that is a good point. Is the competition is getting swift, and I can't believe how much growth has been in the game since the last 2 weeks, really. And it just takes a small little bit of a community getting on Twitter Spaces and hosting this stuff, getting that hype going to bring people in to get these new kingdoms going and see where they evolve and grow. And I really want to. We're gonna have to do a video with all these kingdoms and kind of get their feedback and see what they want to hear and do and all that good stuff. So
Good idea.
yeah,
Good idea.
because I would love to hear that feedback, and it's going to be amazing. So that is the video this time. Let us know if you want to do a video covering something special in the game. We'll probably do a play-by-play video before too long, kind of going over some of the games that I've played and where I went wrong and all that good stuff to help you guys out, help me out, because there's some things I'm like, how in the world did I lose? But anyway, until next time, we'll holler.